Hey guys, here's your video so here you're going to have some more color terminology. So you need to have your, wherever you're keeping your notes, something to write with. And I'm also going to need you to have your colored pencils because I want you to draw anything that I have in color in this presentation. That will help you a lot. And I think that it's going to be better to color it than to have layouts for this. So the first thing that I want to talk about is all colors have temperature. They'll have temperature. So colors are all either cool colors or warm colors. On occasion, they can be both, but not very often. Only red, purple, and yellow, green can be both. So cool colors are any color that has blue, purple, or green somewhere in their color name. These colors remind us of water or plants because we think water is blue, but it's actually clear, just reflects the sky color. And plants are green, and I don't know what's purple, but it's still associated with the cool colors because it contains blue as part of its color. They're very calming for just psychologically how they interact with our brain as they calm us down. You'll see like spas are usually blue, or like ocean themed things are blue because of the ocean, but also because it's calming. And places that are associated with the ocean, like a resort or something, are meant to calm you down. So you go home and you're just like, oh, you're so rested now, and you're telling your friends this, and then they want to go and they really just get business. But it's true, it works. So there's a wide variety of some cool colors that I just covered up on accident, sorry. They can be darker, they can be lighter. We've got some nice sage, some lavender, some periwinkle, just like really calm colors. And then the opposite, we have warm colors. So as you're writing this thing down, guys, by the way, you should make like little blue, purple, green little circles, maybe outline your cool colors in a blue box like I've got here, outline your warm colors in an orange box like I've got here. And any of these cool colors that you have in your box of pencils, make little dots down there under your notes for examples that are like this. So warm colors is any color that has yellow, red, or orange in its color. And they, we associate those with sun or fire. They make us have energy. They're good for things like gyms or sports venues, or can't think of another example, anywhere where you're gonna need some energy. Probably not good for like a classroom with kindergartners, for example. You want that to be like really light blue, so they're calm. The next term we have is tint, and tint just means to make a lighter value of a hue, a base hue, which is one of the 12 colors on the wheel, by adding white to it. So an example would be pink. Looking right here, pink is a tint of red. Red is our base hue here. Pink is what we got when we mixed white with our red. Lavender is a tint of purple. Baby blue is a tint of regular blue. Shade is kind of the opposite. It's adding black instead of white. So it's a darker value of a hue created by adding black. Examples, plum is a shade of purple. Navy is a shade of blue. And teal is a shade of blue-green. So they're all just darker versions of that original base hue. So tint and shade are associated with something we call value. So when you alter the lightness or darkness of a color, when you add white or black, you are altering its value, its overall value, how much value a color has, how little value a color has. So if you have your base hue again of red, and we add white to it, you get pink. You add black to it, you get kind of a burgundy color. So we have just altered the value. If I said you added black to red, what did you alter? Your answer is value. If I said you added black to red, did you change its tint or its shade? Your answer would be shade. Then we have tone, and that's dealing with gray. So we've already dealt with black and white, and now we're dealing with gray, which is both black and white. So tone is when you mute the intensity of a color. When something's intense, it's just in your face, it's loud, it's obnoxious, it's full force. So all those colors on the wheel are full intensity, all 12 of them. They're not lighter, they're not darker, they are their full force. Okay, so if we want to mute those colors and make them not so obnoxious, we're going to add gray to them. That's one way to do it. So, and my colors on this screen didn't show up the way they turned out on my desktop that I made this presentation on. Now I'm on a Chromebook, everything changes. So this is supposed to be olive, which is kind of like army green, or the color of an olive, but it looks really gray. But olive is a tone of yellow-green. So it was originally yellow-green. We just added a bunch of gray to it, and it ended up this color. It's toned down. This is supposed to be denim, and again, this is weird looking, but it's had more gray in it on my desktop. But denim is a tone of blue. It's not as bright as this. Rust is a tone of red-orange. That one actually turned out pretty good. And when you adjust the tone, you are adjusting the intensity or saturation. You might know this term better as saturation. If you edit a photo on your phone, like on Instagram, and you up the saturation, you get like all the colors showing up, like to where like your face looks blotchy. It's so colorful. If you down the saturation, then it ends up being black and white picture. So that's your intensity or saturation, how intense a color is, which is how bright or how dull. There's all kinds of ways that we can say it. And it has to do with tone. So to make something toned down, like I just said, you have to add gray to it. So the intensity or saturation of a color is changed by adding gray to the base hue. So if our base hue was red, just like before, if we add gray to it, we're going to get this kind of, I actually don't know the technical name of that color. I would call it heathered red. Heathered is another term for adding gray to stuff, and more like in the t-shirt world. But that's what intensity or saturation is. Okay, so those are all of your terms. Hopefully you remember to color all of those things that were in color with your colored pencils like you started doing on the first slide. I'm going to make another video of me making these things with a couple of colors of paint, or maybe just one color or two colors. So there's not going to be any notes on that. It's just going to be for a visual. So you're welcome to watch that next if you would like. I won't make it long, I promise.